1, 2, 3, 4.
If you find you're stuck indoors,
Make some art and make some more.
if you're feeling really bored,
Make some art and make some more.
don't matter if you cannot draw,
Make some art and make some more.
make something never seen before.
Make some art and make some more. And make some more.
Welcome to Room 13 Art Studio, brought to you each week by Janie, artist in residence at the Mill Primary Academy. She'll help you make your home a fun and fabulous creative zone with little help from Finn and Paddy. Join us each week for Magic Make, Drawing Date, Awesome Artist, Tremendous Tip. Right, let's get the arty started. Phew!
Hi and welcome back to episode 5 of Room 13 Art Studio. How have you been this week, Paddy?
I caveman.
You're a cave.
I hunt deer.
You hunt deer, so you've been a caveman this week, have you? That sounds very exciting. This week we're going to show you how to make your drawings turn into hats. Where's your hat, Paddy? We're inspired by the work of Quentin Blake, who's made this beautiful book, The World of Hats. Does anybody know some of the books that Quentin Blake has illustrated?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Any others?
The Twits.
The Twits, James and the Giant Peach. So he is illustrated for Roald Dahl, the very famous writer. And in this book, he's done some really beautiful pictures of people wearing hats, wearing lots of really unusual hats. So like this hat is like a kind of fish, and this hat is like a bird's nest. So they're really, really lovely. All you're going to need is a big piece of paper to draw on and then fold into the hat shape. And if you've only got small paper, you can make hats for your teddies or dolls, or even teeny weeny miniature tiny hats. So let's see you in a minute for some making.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here we are about to start drawing our hat, and I just want to show you the hat I was wearing. Okay, so it's like a little Robin Hood style hat, and I'm just going to unfold it to show you that it actually started life as a great big rectangular piece of paper. So you can use any size, but it just needs to be a rectangle rather than a square. And then we will, after we've decorated it, we'll show you how to fold it. So you can make them in all different sizes. And a quick close-up look at some of Quentin Blake's hats. So there they are, very weird and wonderful. And you could decorate your hat with like a weird and wonderful creature or something. Look at this with lots of eyes, so you could put lots of eyes and things on. Okay, so Paddy and I have started to decorate our big piece of paper that's going to form our hat. At this stage, I don't want to put too much detail on it, because if I draw some really fine details, when I fold the hat, the details might get lost in the folds. So at this point, I'm just using anything to make any kind of shapes that I want. I'm just making some colour onto the big piece of paper. We're using oil pastels and some paint pens. But you can use whatever you've got around the house, so you can use colouring pencils, crayons, absolutely anything. Paddy is doing some lovely smudging with his oil pastels.
Yes, this is my secret technique. I get every colour of blue, I put it all in a swirly fashion and just smudge.
So you put colours together, Paddy, and then you smudge them.
Yeah.
That sounds really lovely. I love that.
Right. I was thinking maybe if I could
I
have.
would like a paint pen. Let's see if I can get one that works.
I was
Some of our
wondering-
paint pens are running out, aren't they?
I was wondering if I should make this a mountainous scene or not.
You're making it a scene, are you, Paddy? You. That's lovely. So you're making it into a kind of landscape, are you? That's really nice. It's really lovely to just draw and not worry too much about what you're doing, isn't it, Paddy?
Yeah.
And one of the things that you can also do, if you've got them, is to put a little bit of watercolour in the background. So here I've just got a really kind of light grey watercolour, and I can use a little bit of ink. If you've got watercolour paints or inks, you can go over the top of your oil pastels and the oil pastels will still shine through. So I just water the ink down a bit. Do you like that, Paddy? Do you like the look of that?
Could I have a paintbrush?
Would you like this paintbrush?
Okay,
Do you want a little bit of ink?
I do. For my mountainous
And
scene.
what I might do is use my old friend, the toothbrush, because I love a bit of splatter. So I'm just creating a bit of splatter with my toothbrush.
In fact,
You might need some
nah.
water to water it down, Paddy. Use some of the water to make it a bit lighter in colour.
Well, I changed my mind. I want it to be a deep ocean.
You want it to be dark, do you?
I want it to be a deep ocean blue. But I'm going to wait for it to dry.
Okay, and if you get lots on your paper and you want it to look a bit lighter, use our old friend kitchen roll or tissue. A big tissue.
I didn't know your best friend was a kitchen roll.
Yeah, me and kitchen roll are quite friendly, Paddy. And you can blot it and it takes off a little bit of the ink so that it doesn't have to be so dark. So, Paddy and I will get back to you for the next stage after we've finished decorating our background. We'll show you how to fold your hat, how to put on some detail and other bits and pieces. See you in a
Fireworks
minute.
display.
So here we are. Paddy and I have decorated our lovely big piece of paper and we're ready to fold it into hat shape. And I'm going to show you how to fold it on a smaller piece of paper first, just so that you can see how we do it a bit more clearly. So you fold your rectangle in half and then you fold a little brim, the brim of your hat up like that, and you do that on both sides. And then you just open it up a bit and you fold these bits in together like a triangle. You've got to get them pretty even, like that. And there you are. That is your hat. Okay. So Paddy, are you ready to help me fold our big piece?
Oh, I am.
Yeah,
First
okay.
of all, we should fold this side because then.
That's right, we want our drawing to face out, so we fold it with the drawing facing out the way. Okay, and then can you help me fold the brim? How deep will we make the brim?
Make it about
You
up to
want
the.
quite a narrow brim, do you?
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
a narrow brim for Paddy, and then you need to turn it over and fold the same brim on the other side. And then do you remember what happens next?
Yes, we open it up a bit.
We fold it down into 2 triangles. So we want to make them about the same size. So a good trick
Is to fold them at the same time. Now, I find it hard folding.
Yeah, you need a bit of help. So look, I think we're going to have to fold our brim up a bit here,
Oh no.
because otherwise it won't sit properly, Paddy. But what we can do is
decorate the brim.
Is decorate the brim. So that we've got our lovely hat. So at this point, do you want to draw anything along the brim? You could write words. You can do anything you want along the brim. And while Paddy does that, I'm going to show you how to make a feather for your hat if you want. So you just need some paper. Coloured paper is great. 2 sheets together, and you cut them together in like a long feather type shape, like so. So you've got your 2 pieces, and then you just glue them together with a glue stick. You stick it down, and you start to, first of all you fold it down the middle to make the centre of the feather, and then you just start to cut little snips in it all the way to make the kind of feathery bits. Does it fit you, Paddy?
It does, and I've written Fortnite Ghost v Shadow.
Cool. So you're letting everyone know that you've been playing quite a lot of Xbox, haven't you?
Yeah. Personally, I prefer Shadow.
Can I just stick the feather in your hat?
Okay. Personally, I prefer Ghost
So then you can just put some glue on there.
from Shadow, since
stick
1,
it
they're the
in
good
there.
guys, and 2,
There we are. One lovely finished hat.
because 2, turns out that Midas is the leader of Ghost, and he's probably better than Brutus, the leader of Shadow, I think.
Right, Paddy. So that's a brilliant bit of free information about Fortnite. And we'll see you in a second with our finished hats.
Okay.
So here we are with our finished hats, boys.
Finger hat!
Paddy's got a teeny tiny little hat on his finger. Can you hold it up, Paddy, for everyone to see? So you can make little miniature hats if you want.
The hats.
Did you enjoy that, boys?
Yep.
So can you shout goodbye to the children?
Bye, guys. My hat's fallen off again. Oh, finger hat. Bye.
For this week's drawing date, we're going to be inspired just by the things that are around us in everyday life. And for that reason, I have raided the kitchen drawer, and I have found a few items that look interesting to me, that have interesting shapes. So I've got a can opener, this is a garlic press, and that's a tea strainer and a bottle opener. Then you just need some things to draw with, some different things. I've got Sharpies, a biro and a pencil, but you could use felt pens, colouring pencils, anything you've got. Some scraps of old paper. I've got a bit of wallpaper, a bit of an old map and some sheets from a book. You could also use the backs of old envelopes, just any papers that you've got lying around. One piece of A4 white paper for your background piece, and some scissors and glue. So we're going to start by drawing one of our items on one of our background pieces of paper. Now what you can do, if you really want to, is draw round the item to help you get the basic shape. So we'll do that. Now we're not we're not trying to make anything accurate here, and you'll see why in a minute, because we're going to cut these drawings up. So we're just trying to make interesting shapes and lines at the minute. So I've got the rough shape of the can opener, and I can use my blue biro to maybe draw in some of the details, just to give me a few more interesting marks. But remember that we're going to be cutting these up, so it doesn't have to look exactly like the thing. We're just trying to get an idea of it. So that's one item, and then I'll have a go on here with this. I'll use a thinner Sharpie this time. And now I've got the really interesting zigzaggy bit. It's made a really interesting shape. Oh, and I forgot this bit in the middle. Let's do that. Okay. And again, I might just want to add in some detail. This time I'll do it with a pencil. Okay, so that's another one that I've done. And then last but not least, I'm going to do one on a map. I think I'll do the tea strainer in a nice bold line. There we are. And because it's got lots of tiny bits in it, I'm going to do some dots. So now we've got some bits to work with, and what we're going to do is the drawings that we've made, we're going to cut them up and collage them to make up brand new shapes onto our white background, so we can move our kitchen utensils out of the way and we can start cutting. You can even, if you want, you can just tear so you can start arranging pieces that you've got, so you can cut or tear, whichever you think. And this bit looks a lot like legs to me, which has given me the idea that I could turn my drawings into a type of character, couldn't I? Just leave that all like that. Two characters maybe. Okay, let's stick these down so far. So then you can just use your glue to start sticking down your bits of drawing. That's going to be the head on that one. So I've got these bits. Now I'm going to use some of this paper to make a big eye, because I'm going to turn them into funny looking characters. Like so. Okay, and maybe I'll give this character some kind of spiky hair. And a big mouth with some teeth. And you can give your character some arms. And you can keep decorating it as much as you want, but there you are. We've turned some kitchen drawer objects into a crazy character, and you can add as much to it as you like. For this week's Awesome Artist, we're going to be looking at a man called Joseph Cornell. He was an American artist, and he lived from 1903 to 1972, and he was very famous for creating collage and assemblage, which is whenever you put things together. And he most often did it, and most famous for doing it, in boxes. So this actually is a picture of a box with a cutout owl in it. So he made lots of boxes. This one you can see a bit more clearly. It's got a kind of parrot or some kind of bird like that. And in here he's got corks and little bits of wood, little remnants of machinery and things that he's found. He's just put lots of things together and really allowed his imagination to go wild. The reason that I wanted to look at Joseph was because what fascinated me about him was that he actually never travelled outside America, and his work is full of references to other countries, maps of the world, constellation maps. So he was really, really inspired by traveling and things that he could see from all around the world. But he just found these things in thrift shops or second-hand shops and junk shops and antique shops, and they just inspired and ignited his imagination so much that he kind of travelled through his art. He travelled in his own mind. Here's a lovely one with maps in the background and little glasses, marbles and things in them. And I just love this about Joseph Cornell, because he proved that you don't need loads of money, you don't need to travel the world. You can be inspired and travel in your imagination. Some people called him the armchair traveller because he looked at the world so much, but he never left his home to do it. And I just think that's absolutely wonderful, to see the world through your imagination and to just really explore it as much as possible with your own two hands. For this week's tremendous tip, I'm going to show you how to make a little magazine that consists of all your thoughts and feelings at this time. So what you need is an A4 piece of paper. If you would like, and if you have it, you can get a bright colour. If you don't have that, white is perfectly fine. And if you wanted to colour in the background, you could do that with coloured pencils. Then you just need a variety of drawing and writing implements again. So pencil, biro and a couple of thick and thin Sharpies I've got here. And I'm just going to start by writing. I'm going to fill the whole space with how I am feeling right now. So I've started by writing I am tired, because I have found that being on lockdown is really wearing me out. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I feel more tired than ever. So then I've written sometimes I get lonely. I miss my friends. Even school. And you can keep going with this, decorating it as much as you like. Okay, so you can do small words and big words, you can turn it round. So now I'm writing, I would love to go to the beach and feel the sand trickling round my toes, and perhaps I will actually draw a bit of a cartoon foot. And so you can keep going, filling up your whole space. And the words can even overlap, so you can do words on top of words. So you can write with a different implement. And you can draw pictures. Okay, so once you've done that, once you've finished, filled the whole page, what you're going to do is fold in half and half again, and then fold in half the other way, and then you just need a pair of scissors and you snip just down this middle bit, and then you fold it out into a little booklet. So you fold it into a cross shape like that, and then you can smooth down those edges and then fold it into a magazine, and then you can see all your writing has been chopped up and moved around, and it's going in different directions. This is a magazine record of how you're feeling right now. You published your own magazine. Yay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you find you're stuck indoors,
Make some art and make some more.
if you're feeling really bored,
Make some art and make some more.
don't matter if you cannot something never seen before.
Make some art.